Welcome, aspiring wordsmiths and avid readers. Have you ever wondered about the secret rituals, the quirky routines, or the disciplined approaches that shape the masterpieces we cherish? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the creative process of some of the world's most celebrated authors. From the intricate world-building of fantasy to the pulse-pounding narratives of thrillers, we'll delve into the daily writing habits and unique methodologies of 10 famous authors, including Sarah J. Maas and Dan Brown, as they reveal how they bring their extraordinary stories to life, one word at a time. Get ready to be inspired, enlightened, and perhaps even discover a new trick for your own writing journey.
I think I knew when I was about 12 years old that I wanted to be a writer, mostly because I discovered that fantasy books were a thing, and it just lit this fire inside of me that just made me realize I wanted to not only read books like that, but I wanted to write them, and I wanted to write them with young women front and center, saving the day and falling in love. And as soon as I realized that, again, like age 12, I was done. Like, I was obsessed. That was all I wanted to do, and I feel tremendously blessed that I actually get to do that every single day of my life now.
I plot out stories in my head. Sometimes I'll see people say online, oh, she just came up with this at the last second, this twist. No, I never do that. It's all in my head, and I usually plan it out for a few months before I write even a word. But I don't write anything down. I don't make any flow charts. I don't sketch out scenes or outlines. It's all in my brain. And when I start writing, I'm open to the idea that a character I didn't expect to grab me might grab me, or I'll come up with an idea that didn't occur to me would be amazing. It's really just as I'm writing, I let it evolve.
I'm a big unpacker of things, and I think one thing that the characters in my books often do is analyze, overanalyze. They're constantly trying to make meaning out of things that seem mysterious. Erica Dunton, who directed episodes 7 and 8, I had never met her before we worked on this show, and Erica is a queen. I love her. Oh my gosh. Just swim in some warm water and stare at the sky. I'm obsessed with Sirens, which is also set right off the coast of Massachusetts. Also beautiful, beachy mystery, but very different. Much preppier, much different kind of evil.
Everyone is going to have their own process. For me, I like to write first thing in the morning. I am at my desk at 4 o'clock every day, 365 days a year. That is my process. That's my time. And by working early in the morning, I signal myself that this is the most important thing you're going to do today. That's just the way I do it. Some people write at night. I know a lot of people who write in the morning, a lot of very successful writers. You're fresh. If you're up at 4 a.m., nobody's calling you and there's no email pouring.
Writing a novel works best if you can do the same day over and over again. The closer you can come to just Groundhog Day, you just repeat that day. You set up a day that works for yourself. The last novel that I actually wrote, I was at Tori Amos's wonderful house in Florida. She has this lovely sort of house on the water that she's lent me many times to go and write in. And I went down there, and I would get up in the morning, I would go for a jog, come back, do my yoga, get dressed, get in the car, drive down to a little cafe where there were just enough people around that I knew that other people existed, but nobody that I would ever be tempted to talk to. And I would order myself a large cup of green tea, sit in a corner, and just start writing.
Routine is I'm up at 5 o'clock, shower, walk the dog, feed the dog, at my desk by 6:30, and I work all day until 5. If it's going well, I sit in here as happy and smiling and laughing, and if it's not, people hear me thumping my head against the desk. But thankfully, more days than not, it goes better than not. And I find long writing sessions much better than 3 or 4 hour sessions because I fall away into the world of the novel. I do not outline my novels. I let the character go with it. I actually think the best novels are the ones that start with the character. And in my Jane Hawk novels, that was absolutely true. She came on scene and I didn't quite know who she was going to be. And then she became somebody I had to know about.
My top writing tip is never to stop. Obviously, stop to go to the lavatory and things like that. But so many people start a book, let's say a novel, and they'll write half a first chapter or even the whole first chapter, and they're terribly excited. And then they hit a wall, bang. What next? Do I go to her house, his house? Do I have a spacecraft land? Or, whatever genre you're in, you stop and you get more and more discouraged, and you put it aside and you forget about it. Well, the answer is to keep writing, even if it's drivel.
One of the best writing tips I can give is write something every day. I write 1,000 words a day, 6 days a week, and then I break on a Sunday. And if you can't do 1,000 words, it doesn't matter. If you write 100 words, 250, 500, whatever you're comfortable with. But books are very much about rhythm and flow. And if you write a little bit every day, go to bed thinking about it, waking up in the morning thinking about it, you'll soon find that you're feeling really comfortable with your writing, and those pages will mount up.
So Too Late is actually a book I started writing, my second book ever. I wrote Slammed, which was very sweet YA, and then I started writing this really dark suspense novel. And I kind of worried how people would accept that book right after Slammed, since that's the only thing I had put out. And so I was kind of worried to finish it. So I switched gears and wrote Hopeless and Point of Retreat. But I would always go back to Too Late and write in it when I was having writer's block on the sweeter stuff that I was doing.
In romance novels, at least you have a woman's perspective, and you have, through a female gaze and a woman determining her own worth and what she wants.
I know that's been like a guiding sort of light for you.
Yeah.
How has that, what have you heard from women on that, and why is that so important?
I mean, I think they like it. They like the male characters I write, which I have to laugh because, of course, my husband leaks into them. But I think romance is a beautiful place where women can go to fall in love over and over again and see themselves represented and see their own self-worth actualized, and maybe even learn how to voice what they want and see idealistic relationships, but it can help them set standards in their real life relationships for hey, this kind of stuff is out there and it exists, and this is what I'm worth and who's worthy of me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video about tips from these famous authors, please give it a like, and if you want more interesting content like this in the future, subscribe to the channel. See you next time.